welcome back to my channel. So today we are sitting down and we are doing my top 3 products in every single solitary category. This might be a long one, I hope not, but it might be. I've seen this video idea floating around YouTube the past couple of months. I think Julia Adams was the one who kind of created this sort of video, kind of putting it all in one. So I will have her video linked down below for you to check out in case you missed it. Before we get started, don't forget to upload every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday for you guys. If you like this video while you're watching it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. And other than that, if you're excited and you want to hear about my top 3 products in every single solitary makeup category, then let's go ahead and get started. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really planning on filming this video just because a lot of these products I've talked about a million times on my channel. You see me use them in a bunch of get ready with me's. I thought it might be a little bit redundant, but this video has been requested by a couple of my subscribers, and also I've actually really been enjoying watching other people's versions of this video as well. So I figure, what the heck, why not? Also, this is my current favorites, just the current top 3 products in all of these categories that I'm right now loving. These are subject to change at really any moment. So take my suggestions and all of that kind of with a little bit of a grain of salt, but these are just ones I'm loving right now. I figured I would go in order of application. So the first category is primer. The first one I want to talk about is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. I'm really just using this nonstop because I'm trying to finish it. If you can see, I have a little bit less than half, and this is kind of old. It's over 2 years old. I really do love this primer though. It's a great hydrating primer. It just sinks right into the skin. Makeup wears well over it. Also, the one I have on today is the Catrice Prime and Fine Aqua Fresh Hydro Primer. This is their Fresh It Up one. This is only a couple dollars. I want to say this is $5 or $8. I don't really fully remember how much this costs, but this is really, really affordable. It's like a gel-like consistency, but kind of like the primerizer, it just sinks right into your skin. It's not too oily or dewy or anything like that. It's just hydrating and just makes your skin just feel so nice, and makeup wears beautifully over it. And the third one is the Tatcha, the Liquid Silk Canvas. This is just so good. I've said this in a couple videos, but I'm gonna repeat it because I really do think this about this primer. It's like the perfect primer. It just does a little bit of everything. It's a little pore filling, it's a little smoothing, it's a little hydrating. It helps your makeup last longer. It just is such a good primer. I probably am going to fly through this mini and eventually pick up the full size $50 one, but so stinking good. Next up for foundation, I have one ride or die that I've been loving for almost 2 years at this point, and then 2 kind of newer ones to me that I cannot stop using. So the first one that's my ride or die is the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Foundation. This is so good. It is so stinking good. It is so full coverage, very full coverage, and honestly pretty mattifying. So I have to go in with a hydrating primer with it. It just melts into your skin, wears so nicely, is full coverage, covers up absolutely everything you need it to. I have 2 shades of it, but the one I'm holding up right now is the one I'm currently wearing all the time, and that is in the shade LP4. The next one is the Physicians Formula Butter Believe It Foundation Plus Concealer. This is a newly discovered product for me. I've only had it for maybe 2-3 months now. Cannot stop wearing it. Love it so much. It is, and again, very, very full coverage, wears nicely all day long, doesn't break up, is less matte, definitely less matte than the Pure, but is a little bit on the mattifying side, but just wears beautifully. And my third and final one is the Purito Cica Clearing BB Cream. Again, I just love how this looks on my skin. Honestly, I really like to mix this into these 2. That's kind of how I use this one. I've used it on its own a couple times, but mainly I just love to mix it in. Today I have on the Pure and the Purito mixed together, and I just love this combination. What I love about this is it adds a little bit of glow and a little bit of luminosity, and just the finish of this is so stunning that I love adding it to my foundations. And this is a darker shade, so right now when I have a tiny bit of a tan going on, not much, but this helps to make my foundations match me a little bit better. For concealer, I'm not gonna lie, all 3 of these are pretty new to me, but I'm just loving all of them, so I have to talk about them. The first one is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I have the shade of Vanilla. This is I want to say spackle for your face, but in the best way possible. It is so full coverage. It covers up absolutely everything. If you hear anything in the background, my cat is in here with me and he's just messing around. He was sleeping, so I left him in here, and then I started talking, and now he's up and about and getting into everything. But this is so full coverage. It just covers up absolutely everything you need it to. It's thick, but not too thick, and I can wear it under my eyes, which is really nice. I thought I'd only be able to wear this to spot conceal around the face, but it's also really good for under the eyes as well. The other one is the Haley's Rewind Really, kitty? The other one is the Haley's Rewind Blurring Full Coverage Concealer. I have the shade Fair Neutral. This is so good. It's another one that's a little bit more on the full coverage side, wears really nicely, doesn't get cakey or anything under my eyes, sets beautifully, doesn't get too drying, anything like that. And the third one is really new to me, but I literally have been using it nonstop, and it is the Kosas Revealer Concealer. I have the shade 1.5C. I cannot stop wearing this concealer. It's definitely the least coverage of the three that I'm talking about. However, if I just let it sit on my under eyes for a couple of seconds and then blend it in, it gives me enough coverage. It's the concealer I have under my eyes today. I think I've been using this like every single time I've done my makeup the past like 2 weeks straight. It is just good. It is creamy, it is hydrating, but it sets down nicely. Again, not drying. I'm loving this. Then we're moving on to powder. So honestly, I'm like a loose powder kind of gal, but I do have a powder palette, I guess, a pressed powder palette that I'm like obsessed with. And that is the Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is her brightening and setting palette. I have the Fair to Light one, I believe. I cannot stop using this palette. Oh my goodness gracious. These powders are like buttery soft and smooth. They just melt in under my eyes and set my concealer so nicely. I put it under my eyes and then in my T-zone, like my chin, my nose, and then the middle part of my forehead to just set everything down. They're matte, but they're not drying at all. I just mix mainly these two together and then this one. I haven't used this one too much, but I know once I'm a little bit fairer in like the winter, fall and winter time, I'll get more use out of these top two. But this just sets my concealer down so nicely. It's not drying. It doesn't get cakey. I'm just loving this so much. Then we have the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. So kind of like the Smashbox Primerizer, the main reason I am just using this powder nonstop recently is because I'm almost done with it. As you can see, I have the tiniest little amount left. However, this is my second container of this. And honestly, when this is gone, I can see myself repurchasing it, not right away because I have a lot of powders, and I've actually recently accumulated like 5 or 6 powders in the last like month. I don't know how it happened. I don't understand. But eventually I can see myself getting this again. It's just a nice go-to setting powder. That's all it is. It's nothing like absolutely insanely special, but it's so reliable and just sets my face down nicely, never gets dry, and it's just a good go-to powder. And then the third and final powder I want to talk about is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Setting Powder. I have the vanilla shade. I have been through one complete compact of this, and this is my second one. This powder is just simply amazing. I feel like whenever I use this, my face just looks flawless. It sets my makeup down. It almost has like a blurring airbrush perfecting sort of quality to it and just makes my face look so nice. And again, it's like never ever drying. This component is huge and I've been through one whole one and then rebought it. And I didn't even realize how much I missed it until I repurchased it and started using it again. I knew I missed it, but then I started wearing it again and I was like, oh yeah, you're perfect. So love this powder so much. Next up for bronzer, I'm not gonna lie, this category was really hard for me to choose. I just have so many bronzers that I love and so many that I've just been like using nonstop. However, I did narrow it down. I did narrow it down to 3. So the first one, no surprise at all, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. I have the shade 2 Medium. This bronzer is so lovely. I've gone on 2 vacations over the past couple of weeks in the summertime, and this is the only bronzer that I took on both of those vacations. It is just a really nice, like bronzy warm tone that's not too warm or too orange on my fair skin. It blends in nicely. That airbrush name is 100% correct. This just looks, every time I use it, it looks stunning on my face and I look so healthy and sun-kissed and glowy. But it's not like a glowy bronzer. It is matte, but it still has like a little bit of sheen to it. I don't know how to explain it. It just looks so beautiful on the skin. It is pricey, so keep that in mind, but I really do think it's worth it. The other one I cannot stop wearing is the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronzer in the shade Tantastic. I don't know what's going on with Marc Jacobs. I've heard that they are actually not closing, that something about like their contract with Kendo, I believe, which is their parent company, is coming to an end. So they're exploring further options. That's kind of why it's a little up in the air right now and everything's on sale. But if you can get your hands on this, if you haven't gotten your hands on this, because this bronzer has been around for a very long time, but if you can get your hands on this, especially on sale, I highly recommend. It is just a beautiful bronzer. It's a bronzer that I have on my face today. It's just a really nice neutral tone, blends in lovely, never gets patchy. I bought this during the Sephora sale last time around, like last year, And I kind of just bought it, not really on a whim because I'd wanted it for a long time, but I really only wanted it because so many people raved about it all the time. And I wanted to know what the hype was. And the hype is, it's real. It's real, guys. It is such a good bronzer. I love it. And then the third and final one I want to talk about is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It. So I have the shade 01 Light. I haven't been reaching for this too often recently, only because it is a little bit lighter of a bronzer and I do have a little bit of a tan going on. So I haven't been using this too much currently, but if you can tell, I'm like about to hit pan. It is like so close. I feel like one or two more times I will hit pan on this. And what I love about this bronzer is it's a little bit glowy. If you can see, there's a little bit, can you see my cat? Can you see my cat? What are you doing, Butterscotch? Don't mess with those flowers. Those are my wedding flowers. He's such a turd, you guys. He's such a turd. But anyways, if you can tell, this just has a little bit of a sheen to it, which is the reason why I love this bronzer so much. It gives the healthiest, like, sun-kissed glow to your skin. And I know once I'm a little bit more fair coming up, he is messing in those flowers. I'm gonna have to go get him. But I know once I'm a little bit more fair coming up in like the fall and winter, I'll be using this nonstop again. I'm never filming with my cat in here again. He is such a turd. I keep having to pause and like spray him with water and get him out of like all my makeup and my things and the plants and the carpet, and he's driving me nuts, but it's fine. I'm almost done, kind of. Next up for blush, you guys, there's some good blushes out there, and this was another one that was really hard for me to decide. I just love blush more than like life. I just love blush so much. So this was super hard to pick. The first one though, I have to give it to my Pat McGrath. This is her Skin Fetish Divine Blush in the shade Flirtatious. I've been absolutely obsessed with this blush. I cannot stop wearing it. If you can tell, the imprint is like kind of wearing down, which I'm really sad about because it's really beautiful, but that's okay because that just means I'm loving it and I'm getting use out of it, which is good because this was expensive. But this shade is stunning. It is a beautiful like mauvey, nudie, just my cheeks but better, almost like hint. I cannot stop wearing this. The other one I chose was the M Cosmetics Heaven's Glow Blush in the shade Faded Clementine. Now, I was super lucky and M Cosmetics sent me some PR recently and they sent me the other two shades of this they have, Magic Hour and Venetian Rose, I believe. And I cannot wait to try those two out because this formula is just magic on your cheeks. It's glowy, if you can tell, so it gives your cheeks such a healthy, lovely, beautiful glow. You look like you're glowing from within, but not like too glowy. It's not like highlightery or anything like that. This shade is just absolutely stunning, and I cannot wait to try the other two. The last one I chose was a little bit of a surprise to me, but I think I mainly chose it because the formula is so unique and I just really enjoy it. And it's the MAC Go Play, right? Yeah, Glow Play, sorry. Glow Play blush in the shade So Natural. It is the blush that I have on my cheeks today. If you can tell, like, look how glowy this is. Like, Glow Play, they are correct. This is such an interesting formula. It's like almost a putty formula, if you can tell. I just put it on with a stippling brush, and I'm really glad that this works well over powder. A lot of the times, I feel like these sort of like putty blushes and all that, I'm a little nervous to use over powder, and this one works beautifully. I just stipple it right in. It doesn't lift up my foundation or anything underneath, and it just gives the most beautiful glow. And this is such a nude shade that I love it because it's not too poppy or punchy. It's just like my cheeks are glowing and a little bit healthy and a little bit flushed. And I love this. I want more shades. He just walked out of the room on his own free will. He's probably like, I'm out of here, Mom. You're like spraying me too much. Well, that's what happens when you get in everything. Next up, we have highlights. And the first one is going to be like no surprise. He's coming back. I'm about to shut the door. Kitty, are you coming back? Yeah, you're coming back. Okay. You can come back and hang out in here. That's fine. Just be good, okay? He's not going to be good. But the first one I want to talk about, again, is not going to be any surprise to anyone. It is the Nabla Skin Glazing Highlight in the shade Ozone. This highlight, it's just stunning. It's beautiful. It's stunning. The formula is amazing. It is like wet looking on the skin and like blinding, but not too much. It is just perfection. Probably my favorite highlighter like ever. The next one I want to talk about is Becca Champagne Pop. I know, Becca Champagne Pop. This is like an OG. Everyone loves it. It's been around for like my whole life and for good reason. It is such a good highlight. It's a highlight that I have on my face today. It's just beautiful and glowy and gold and stunning. Anytime I want a gold highlight, this is really the one I reach for. This and Omrizi, but that's not available anymore. So I want to talk about this, even though this is about to not be available anymore, but I can still squeeze it in for a little bit longer, but this is just beautiful. And like I said, anytime I want a gold highlight, this is what I reach for. My last one is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlight in the shade Blossom Glow. Now he's on my table, shaking it. Kitty, come here. Oh my goodness. Look at this junk. Look at this junk. You are just annoying. Okay, I'm gonna kick him out and shut the door. Take two. The third one I want to talk about is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Blossom Glow. This is the one I reach for if I want a pinky toned highlight. These are blinding. If you want space to be able to see you, wear one of these Wet n Wild highlights. They are absolutely stunning and only a couple dollars. I've had this forever. I have pan in it. It's just so good. Now we're going to talk about some setting sprays. So the first one is the Urban Decay De-Slick. I've just been through a million bottles of this. I will never not repurchase this. It really is so good at locking in my makeup and making sure the oils in my T-zone don't shine through when I don't want them to. Sometimes I want that nice, like lovely dewy look. Sometimes I don't. And when I don't, I reach for this one. Also, no surprise, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Powder. Setting spray. We're not talking about powder. Setting spray. This is so good. It just locks in your makeup beautifully. It does give a little bit of glow to your skin, but not too much. It's not too dewy, and it really does lock in your makeup. And the last one, this is a little bit of a surprise, but I just love this setting spray, so not really. I just feel like I haven't talked about it as much on my channel as those other two, and it is the Fenty Beauty What It Do Mist. This is lovely. It's a setting spray I have on my face today, and it just gives a little bit of dew. It really does, but it's not anything too intense, too dewy. I think even if you're oily, you would still like this setting spray. It just mists on your face so lovely. It has like the best mist ever. Oh my gosh. The scent smells so yummy as well. I just love this. I love it. And it's one that, like, if you just need to set your makeup, you don't need it to lock it in place. You don't need to really melt your powders in too much, a little bit, but you just need a good mist. This is it. Eyeshadow palettes. Woo, baby. This was hard. This was so hard. I love so many eyeshadow palettes, and like, I feel like I've accumulated quite a few here recently. I'm just like always constantly trying new eyeshadow palettes. But these are the three that like recently I just really honestly been using nonstop. The first one is the Natasha Denona Love Palette. This is so beautiful. I am going to eventually do a 1 week 1 palette with this. I know this was requested. I will eventually, and I know I need to do it with the BH Smitten in Switzerland palette. There's just not enough time in the world. So eventually I will get this up, but this color story is stunning. I love pink eyeshadow. The formula is amazing. The shimmers are blinding. The mattes are nice. It's just so good. The second one is one that, like, every time I wear it, I feel beautiful. I never not like my look. And every time I wear it in a video or an Instagram post or an Instagram story, without fail, I get asked what is on my eyes because it is that stunning. And it's the ColourPop That's Taupe palette. You guys, this palette, if you do not own it, please go buy it. Please go buy it. Even if you have the Natasha Denona Glam palette, which that's the one that this is compared to a lot, even if you own that one, I would pick this up. Honestly, I feel like if I had to choose between the Glam and this one, I think I might choose this one, which is saying something because I love the Glam too. This is just beautiful. The mattes are stunning. They blend in nicely, and the shimmers, all four of them, are just so reflective and so pretty. This one is like more of a Super Shock, like topper kind of shade, and it just adds the best sparkle. I'm obsessed with this palette, obsessed. And the third one that I actually have on my eyes today is the M Cosmetics Divine Skies eyeshadow palette in Magic Hour. Again, they sent me their new Venetian Rose one, and I cannot wait to put that on my eyes because I'm so obsessed with this one. I have a feeling I'll be just as obsessed with the Venetian Rose one. I used all 6 of the shades on my eyes today to create this really beautiful pinky look. Now, these are small palettes. This is not, like, you're not going to get a ton of different variations in your looks. All of your looks are going to look similar whenever you use this palette. However, it's such a good formula and such a good go-to that you don't even have to think about it. Your looks won't be different, but they will always look amazing. They will always look bomb. You will never struggle. The mattes are so buttery smooth. The shimmers are just chef's kiss. I am obsessed with this palette, and if you can tell, there's quite a bit of wear in this, and I've only had it for like 3 or 4 months. So the fact that I have so many eyeshadow palettes, and I've been on summer break, so I've been filming a ton, the fact that I've used this so much and it has so much wear to it in that short amount of time is saying something. I'm not gonna do eyeliners because I really don't like have that many like go-to eyeliners. I don't wear eyeliners that often, and when I do, I pretty much use like the same couple, the Benefit Roller Lash in brown and the Makeup by Mario like nude liner that I put in my bottom waterline. That's pretty much the only liners I really ever wear. So mascara, Tarte Maneater. This, I love this mascara with my whole entire heart. If you scroll down on my Instagram page, shameless plug, you should definitely give it a follow if you have not yet. It is the same username, Emily's Makeup Bag. If you scroll down on my makeup page, you will see a post about this all the way back from 2018, 3 years ago. I loved it back then. I love it now, and I'm probably going to continue loving it in the future as long as they don't change the formula or discontinue it. Don't do it, Tarte. Don't do it. I would be devastated. So good. It makes my lashes look stunning and beautiful and long and just full and not clumpy. It's the best. I also really love the Benefit Roller Lash. I almost said roller liner. No, Roller Lash. This is another really good one that makes my lashes look long and full and not clumpy. And the last one is the Hourglass Caution Mascara. Again, long, full, not clumpy. That's really all I want from a mascara. So if you can do that and you cannot make my lashes clumpy because they clump so bad, I'll like you. Can you hear my cat? I don't know if you can. He's literally clawing at the door, trying to get in. He's such a baby. I love him so much though. Okay, next up for brows. I almost didn't do brows because they're honestly kind of boring, but I'm going to do them anyways really quickly. The Milani Weekend Brow Pen, this is amazing. You've seen me use this in a ton of Get Ready With Me's. It's such a good brow pen. It's what I have in my brows right now. It just makes the best hair-like strokes, and I've had this forever. It's lasting forever. I don't know when the ink is going to run out, but I love it. Also, the Huda Beauty Bomb Brows. This is such a tiny little pencil, but it's so good. I'm loving it. I need to get a better shade, though. This one was sent to me in PR, and it's light brown. It's just a little bit too light. I can wear it. I can make it work, but when this is gone, I'll repurchase like a deeper shade. And then my ABH Clear Brow Gel. This is bomb. You want your brows to just be glued into place and not move all day long? This will do it for you. 3 more categories and then we are done. I also almost didn't do lip liners because I just recently got into lip liners the past like 2-ish months. So I haven't tried a ton of different formulas, but of the couple that I've tried, these are my favorite. Morphe Sweet Tea Liner. I just really love the shade of this. It's a really deep brown and it's just a really good formula. It stays on nicely, it glides on. It's a liner I have on today. It's kind of faded a little bit, but normally it does stay on good. I also really love the KKW Beauty liners. I don't know if they're bringing them back considering they are like rebranding, kind of like Kylie Cosmetics did. I'm assuming they would bring this back. This is in Nude 1. Again, just a really beautiful nudie brown shade that I'm obsessed with. And lastly, ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Cool BFF. This is just the bomb. I love how cool it is and I love how it wears, and these 3 are really, really good. Okay, lipsticks. We have the Huda Beauty Cream Lipstick in the shade Impress. I love it. It's so good. I've been using this pretty much nonstop recently. It's the perfect nudie brown shade for me. It's just beautiful, and the formula is so creamy and comfortable. I love it. Charlotte Tilbury Kim KW. This light pink nude is just the bomb. It's super, super peachy, which I like. And it just is really pretty. Again, Charlotte Tilbury has a beautiful formula. It's very, very comfortable. It's a lipstick I have on my lips today. It's just the perfect light pink nudie shade. And then lastly, we have Natasha Denona. Her I Need a Nude line is so good. I have 2 of them, but the one I want to talk about today is Susanna. It's the one I've had the longest. As you can tell, it's almost gone. And it is just a beautiful, like, pinky nudie shade. And again, this formula is super, super comfortable. And the final last category we have is lip gloss. Love all of these. The Dose of Colors lip gloss formula is amazing, but specifically this shade in Can You Not. It's a lip gloss I have on today. Yes, I have a very extra lip combination of all 3 of them, but this is just a beautiful nude lip gloss. Anytime I need to top a nude lip with a lip gloss, this is the one I go for. Your Tower 28 Jelly Shine On Lip, what are these called? Shine On Lip Jelly, and I have the shade Oat. This is, again, just a really good nudie lip gloss. This one is a little bit more shiny than the Dose of Colors one. So again, it just gives the most beautiful shine to your lips. It completely blanks out all the lines in my lips and just really makes my lips look beautiful. Like every time I wear this, I really love how my lips look. And lastly, Fenty Beauty. I couldn't talk about lip gloss and not talk about the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bombs. They're amazing. This is in the shade Sweet Mouth. This is just one of like 5 that I own, but these are so pretty and glossy and just stunning. They make your lips look big and thick and juicy and just beautiful, and I love them. Woo! And that was it, you guys. I feel like I tried to talk quickly and I tried to be really just concise about my thoughts on all of these products. A, because you probably heard me talk about a lot of these before, and B, because I really just wanted this video to not be a million hours long. But I'm gonna go hang out with my cat because he is very attached to me right now and he's about to claw down that door. And if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome and I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and hope to see you in my next video. Bye, guys. Editing video here. This goober didn't even hang out with me. I came out and I went to go hang out with him and he was like, Mom, I'm over you. I don't want to hang out with you. So all of that whining, all that scratching down the door, and he didn't even hang out with me. He only wants me when he can't have me. Isn't that right? I still love you though, so much.